Before we continue with the rest of the video, we could use your help. Click the like button to help spread word about watchJojo animals, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. After this woman heard desperate cries, she found a terrified dog tied to some railroad tracks. It was just an ordinary day's work in Florida for this female commercial photographer in late 2017. All the normal until she heard the unnerving noise. It sounded like a terrified creature in extreme distress, but where was the sound coming from? She felt that she could not just ignore it, but when the woman who depends on a good eye for her living tracked the disturbance to this source, she could not believe what she saw. The woman in question was Tampa resident Rebecca Cries, who runs a photography business in the city specializing in real estate and wedding portfolios. Indeed, it was her real estate work that led Cries to be shooting stills in Dade City, Paseo County during December 2017. To be more precise, the photographer was taking exterior shots of a property near the US Route 301 highway when something made her pause. A strange noise distracted Cries from her work, and it was more than a little disturbing. She discussed what happened with local TV channel Fox 13 on December 15, 2017. "I just heard a very loud cry, but it was a distress call," Cries told Fox 13 News. From what she heard, however, she instantly knew that it wasn't human, and it wasn't good. "You could tell the animal was hurt, in pain and scared," Cries explained. As an animal lover, the photographer felt compelled to track down the source. So Cries followed the noise, and she realized it was growing louder as she approached the nearby train tracks. Then she saw something moving in the weeds by the rails, and saw what was making the pitiful sounds. They were coming from a tiny puppy, partially concealed in undergrowth. "I found her huddled up here," Cries recounted to the cameras as they surveyed the scene. But when the photographer had got close to the pup, she noticed something sickening. She recalled, "When I went to grab her, she was attached to the ground with something. It appeared that someone did not want the puppy going anywhere." Whoever had been responsible for the puppy's plight had tied a length of string to its bent leg, attaching it to the rail tracks. Not only was the animal tiny, she couldn't have been more than a few days old. The dog still had a piece of umbilical cord attached when Cries discovered her. Luckily, however, the puppy's saviour worked as a volunteer for the Owl's Nest Animal Rescue Sanctuary in Tampa Bay. As a result, Cries knew just how to take care of the traumatised little pup, and immediately set about untying her. Immediately after, Cries was able to use her contacts to call someone suitable for additional help. The photographer's friend Deirdre Oakley also volunteered as an animal rescuer and was quick to heed the call. Together, the two women set about fixing the physical and emotional upheaval the newborn puppy had undergone. The dog-saving duo also gave her a name, Polka Dot, after noticing a distinctive dot pattern on the puppy's back. Concerned at Polka Dot's bent leg, Cries and Oakley took the puppy to a local veterinarian. But after a checkup, the animal professional concluded the pup's limb had sustained no serious damage. Indeed, Polka Dot had not broken anything during her ordeal. However, she was found to be suffering from another issue, but it was one that any newborn pup would have. That is to say, the puppy was very thirsty. In fact, being torn away from the substance of her mother's milk meant that poor little Polka Dot was positively dehydrated. Aside from that, and the trauma of being left for dead by some heartless individual, the pup had had a lucky escape. Cries and Oakley thought that Polka Dot was a pit bull mixed breed. And while we can only speculate, it is not unreasonable to assume that Polka Dot's breeding may have something to do with her cruel abandonment. After all, pit bulls have a sometimes undeserved reputation. The breed has a high desire to please, and sadly, in many cases, owners take advantage of this trait and train dogs for violence. Not only that, but animal shelters are also full of this benign breed. This is in part a consequence of the large volume of pit bulls bred in the US. It is also due to unscrupulous and unlicensed backyard breeders who make a living from selling the dogs and abandoning unwanted pups. Whatever the reason for the newborn puppy being abandoned, Cries was rightfully disgusted at Polka Dot's treatment. "It made me sick to my stomach. I was shaking," she told Fox 13 News of the discovery. But more than that, the animal lover was also worried for the rest of Polka Dot's family. Cries said, "It broke my heart, and it really concerns me about the other puppies, and the mama too." Oakley also had her worries about the deeply troubling behaviour of Polka Dot's tormentors. She was perturbed over the state of mind of anyone capable of such terrible animal cruelty. "There's part of me that wants to pray for the soul of the person that could do this," Oakley told the Fox cameras. She continued, "If it's a child, I'm very concerned about the adult they're going to become, and if it's an adult, then they need to be dealt with." Consequently, Cries and Oakley alerted the Paseo County Sheriff's Office about the incident. The pair hope that detectives will be able to track down the culprit or culprits and bring them to justice. Although Polka Dot has been found in time and rescued, her story still wasn't over. The puppy now needed a loving home. In the meantime, however, Oakley took on the role of foster mum and remarked on how the little pup is very much a survivor. "She's very vocal, very strong, and a very good eater," Oakley told Fox 13 News. There are also encouraging signs in a young pup who has suffered as much as Polka Dot has. Oakley also hinted that the newborn who suffered such a dark episode in early life may yet have a bright future. Although nothing is official, Oakley feels that Polka Dot's charms may just prove too hard for the animal lover to resist. Holding the puppy, Oakley admitted to the news cameras, "I'll probably fall in love with her, and she'll be my fourth dog." Could it be that the remarkable pup has already found her forever home? We can only hope that the forces of law and order find Polka Dot's abusers to prevent such heartless cruelty happening again. However, the most important thing is that the little pup has recovered and is flourishing in a loving environment. And it is all thanks to the heartwarming kindness of two compassionate strangers who refused to see a little life go off the rails. Please do not forget to share this video with your friends below.